Talking about what's eating you. Talking about what's eating you.
Proudly brought to you by RogersHood Apothecary. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Sam.
Here we are again.
Yeah, here we are.
Today we're talking about healing modalities, right? This is something
Yes.
that both of us utilize a lot in our personal lives, on our healing journeys. And we both have a lot of history with them. We really want to bring attention and information to people to let them know what's available, dive in deeper on how they've helped us on our journeys and in our lives. And I thought, what more beautiful way to start than actually give an origin of what a healing modality even is, what it comes from. And I found something really beautiful I want to read. Healing modalities are generally considered to be ancient in origin, even though when we say the words on social media, it feels like it's a modern thing that technology runs, but it's actually ancient in origin, with many practices like acupuncture, Ayurvedic, traditional Chinese medicine, and various forms of energy healing have roots in ancient civilizations and cultures where holistic approaches to health were prevalent. Today, it's called alternative.
Oh.
I've always thought it was funny that it's called alternative medicine when, to me, it's the original.
Well, I call it traditional. Traditional medicine, and then there's Western medicine, and that's where they're trying to bridge. We're trying to bridge those two medicines together.
That's right.
Because there's so many amazing components of each of them, Western and Eastern, but more of a traditional way of doing things now.
Both necessary.
Very necessary.
Yep. So these having roots in ancient civilizations and cultures where holistic approaches to health were prevalent. While some modern adaptations and refinements exist, the core concepts often stem from ancient healing traditions.
That's so good.
It's so beautiful.
Because they used to do sweat lodges and Vikings cold plunges, which we'll talk more about, but they used to do all of these things. And I think we've just kind of lost our way, not really realizing how important they are to the human body to continue to do things every day.
Right.
You know?
I've been tapping and using healing modalities for the past over a decade of my life. And intuitively, I've known over the time, wait, a lot of these things are mimicking nature. Like I realized that the infrared sauna is mimicking the sun. Red light therapy is mimicking the sun.
Yes.
Cold plunges is mimicking cold body of water or snow or any way that humans have used the cold as therapy, right?
Yes.
Do you have an introduction to your first modality? Like in your life, what was the very first healing modality you ever used?
Oxygen. And then IVs.
Oxygen therapy?
Yes.
So
oxygen
explain.
therapy. Well, I worked in durable medical equipment, so I worked around oxygen, and we would, be kind of tired or hungover. So we would go in and we would just sit on the oxygen. And same with IVs. We did a lot of IVs on each other when we were practicing, and we'd be hungover most of the time. And that's when we really went in as far as like the healing modalities, definitely cold plunge. When I refocused my journey onto a healing journey, cold plunge. It's my jam.
Has that been one of the most like impactful for you, or one that you notice the most positive benefits when you do it?
Yes.
In what way? What are the benefits for you?
Totally inflamed, and it helps like calm that down. The inflammation in a lot of chronically ill people's body is real, especially with mold, because the body is going through something in order for you to get rid of it. So it swells up. It's like its defense mechanism. And if you're able to go in and kind of calm that down, it helps you. And you can do, you do it a couple of times in a rotation, and then bam, you're good.
I know cold plunge therapy is also really, really great for mental.
Yes.
I've witnessed you before. We've done it together. And it was actually hilarious because you went first out of all of us that did it. And you got in and it was so easy for you. It looked like it was so easy. You were in there for what, over 10 minutes?
15.
15.
I was in there 15 minutes.
Yeah, you were talking, you were laughing, you were breathing just fine. So all of us were like, oh, it's going to be a piece of cake. It's going to be easy. And I went second right behind you. And it was so hard mentally Mental was actually the biggest challenge of it, more than the physical discomfort. It was the mental, like my body wanted me to get out. My mind was freaking out on the
Really?
inside. Yes.
Dang,
I'm
I didn't know.
calm, cool, collected on the outside, but inside I was freaking out.
You were like, I got to get out. I got to get out. Why?
But Dave at Mother Nature's Remedy, shout out to Dave. He actually...
He was my favorite. We'll go over that too, but he was my favorite.
Yeah. And when I got out and I shared that with him, he was like, that is actually power though. Because if on the inside you're feeling this way, but on the outside you're staying composed and you're still physically staying in it, that's true power. Because a lot of people get in and they feel that internal freak out in their mind and also physical pain, and they freak out externally and they want to get out and they flail and they get out. But if you can breathe and know that you'll make it through it, and on the other side you'll be better for it because you did something hard. So mentally it improves you and strengthens you. And then physically, inflammation, you said, is a huge benefit of cold therapy.
Yes.
So actually we can talk about a different cold therapy we've done together that's been huge in my life, and that's cryotherapy.
Was that your first? Like, what was your first modality that introduced you into this healing modality world?
My first was probably a sauna, some sort of sweat. I would say a sauna, and going into one and actually like pouring sweat and having my body actually like, detox that way.
Yeah.
That was my first introduction.
Do you prefer sauna or steam?
That's tough. Probably steam.
Steam?
Yeah, probably steam. You get the same sweat, but that moisture just does something different for you. Even I did hot yoga for a long time, and it is temperature is hot in the room, but they do add humidity to the air.
They do? That's good to know. I didn't know that.
And so there's something about humid heat that affects the body in a different way. And it seems to go deeper for me. And it's really, really great for the skin. I really
like the steam for skin, but if I have to choose between which heat, I like the dry. I love the sauna. Going in and just, it's dry. You're not like, you're dripping in sweat, but you're not dripping everywhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
And these both, what we're talking about, are both really great tools for people to do while they're detoxing and cleansing.
Especially, parasites, but especially mold, because you're trying to really push the spores out of your system. And so red light therapy is one of the best things that I have found while I was detoxing from mold. Same with Jeremy. He really responded well to a couple of different modalities, some frequencies, methylene blue with red light. The combination of those really helped his mitochondria and just push out the spores and just make him overall feel better.
So red light therapy is cellular?
Yes.
Mitochondria? Skin?
Yes.
So what does it do for the skin?
It's mimicking the sun. So it's really just boosting and allowing your body to kind of push out any imperfections that might be going on as well. And if you add a layer of castor oil on it, it'll penetrate the castor oil deeper into the skin.
Deeper than a castor oil pack?
Yes. In my opinion.
So in your opinion, if you want to flush your lymphatic system with castor oil,
slather yourself. Bathe in it and then just go lay and
naked?
Lay in a red light. Sure.
Naked.
I'll do castor oil and then I'll go into my red light sauna and I'll just sit in there. And so then it just gives you even more. It's biohacking stacking. Nice. It's basically what we're trying to do, because who has time to sit and do one modality? Like you need to do multiple at one time in order to get the best benefits possible.
Right. One of your favorite combinations that I've witnessed you doing is on your vibrate plate. Yeah. While red light is on you. So let's talk about the vibrate plate for a second. I actually was introduced to that at a spa in my neighborhood probably 8 or 9 years ago when I started cleansing. I was on a candida cleanse and they had an infrared sauna, but they would have you get on a vibrate plate for 10 to 15 minutes before going into the sauna, because they said it would shake everything up. It would shake everything up and get your lymph moving, stimulate your lymphatic system. And actually the vibrate plate is a cheat code for the days that you can't get cardio in because it is equivalent to actually walking, jogging, or running. So getting on a vibrate plate and then getting into sweat right after actually loosens up the toxins, it moves the lymph, and then you go and sweat a lot more out. So I like to do it in that order.
So you do vibration plate, and then you go in and you do the
Sauna after.
And then what do you do after that?
Ideally, my ideal like order in which to do things is get a massage.
Okay.
Now that moved lymph, got into the tissues, it's breaking apart fascia. Then vibrate plate to really shake up everything that you just moved and released and move the lymph even more. Then sauna, and ideally either end with a cold shower or some kind of cold like at the end of it. That's like my ideal order in which I would do things.
I might switch it up then.
What would you do?
I usually do, I have like that setup in the house, and I do the vibration plate, and then I do the HBOT plate, and then I go into the sauna. So maybe I'll do vibration plate, the sauna, cold shower, and then head over to my HBOT.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, and in case you guys are wondering what an HBOT, it's a hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy. It's like the bubble that you get in, and it is a pressurized oxygen so that you're breathing it in. It's penetrating through your skin. You're just being pelted with 100% oxygen. And people that have Lyme, mold, parasites, they don't like 100% oxygen. So it really...
Wait, the people don't like... What doesn't like the oxygen?
The mold, the toxins, the Lyme, the parasites. The toxins don't like it. So the toxins will like kind of run and hide, and it'll kill them off. It helps with inflammation. That's what I use it for, is my inflammation.
So oxygen is a way to kill them.
Yeah.
So ozone therapy?
Yeah, which is an O3. So ozone therapy is really great. And Dave's at Mother Nature has ozone cold plunge. And that's why he's my favorite modality that we've done together
So far.
Because it's, again, biohacking, stacking.
It's habit stacking, essentially. Yeah.
And you're getting the ozone because you're actually absorbing 2 cups of water every 15 minutes that you're in it. So all that amazing ozone that's removing bacteria, all of that is being absorbed into your body. So you're just even doing more therapy inside of your body, not even knowing it.
Inside HBOT, is it regular oxygen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
100% oxygen. You're breathing it in. It's being pelted because it's pressurizing like a plane. When you get in it, and you did it at my house, and you have to like pop your ears just like you're in a plane. And I have a soft shell, so I'm still getting a lot of great benefits. The hard shell, which is like the medical grade one, is the best, but I just want to have something that I can sit in and be able to kind of utilize it. It's something that you can have at your house, which is really of importance because I don't always have time to go to a facility and it's $100 to $150 each time. And who has time for that and that kind of money? And then it's just you getting to use it. So when you buy something like that and you have that space, you and your friends and your family get to use it all. So that's really important. What did you think about the hyperbaric chamber?
Every time that I've done it twice. So I've done the lay down one that kind of feels like a tube or a coffin almost. Definitely like mentally had to work through it to not feel claustrophobic. So I use any modality that's a challenge that feels uncomfortable as a way to build mental strength as well. Afterward, I just felt like more energized, like any kind of head tension or headache or any kind of feeling like that would be gone. HBOT thus far for me though hasn't been super noticeable.
Okay.
But I also don't have any chronic illness or something that is like causing me a lot of physical pain or anything like that. So that one hasn't been as noticeable for me.
I feel like because it helps inside so much, and it does take quite a few times to really get the feeling of it. And when I first started doing HBOT, I was doing it with NAD, and I found like that really, those combinations are really great combinations for people that are having Lyme or swelling along those lines.
So I love that you mentioned like having an HBOT in your home. And I know that that one specifically is an investment.
Right.
But I want to talk about a modality that's been a huge part of my life.
Yes.
There's a lot of taboo around it, a lot of fear around it. A lot of people just don't know where to start, and it scares people. But colonics and enemas.
Yes.
This is another example of being able to go somewhere and actually use a modality, aka colonic. And there's 2 different kinds that I've done so far. One is like closed, and it's very much more like medical experience, kind of like a sterile medical experience. Someone else, there's a practitioner there with you that's actually controlling the water that's going into your colon and then coming out, everything that's coming out. And it's all enclosed in a tube, and like that's...
And you really can only hold it for so long,
Yeah.
and you only get so many fills.
So many fills. Yeah. Well, the one I've been to, a practitioner like will give me as many as I want to do.
Oh, that's so nice.
In my appointment time.
Nice.
And yeah, but it's like you hold the water as it's being filled for like 45 seconds to a minute is like an ideal time if you can get up to that, and then you release. That's one way. And then there's like the open table way, which is the one that we went and did together at Libby Bar in LA. And
she was great, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is.
Good find.
Yeah.
Good find.
And that one is you're controlling the water.
Yes.
So you're controlling the amount that's going in you, at what speed, how many fills. You are the one that's controlling it, and you're on a table where it's not a tube where everything is releasing through a tube, but it's releasing more through kind of like a hole underneath you type of situation. So colonics have been one of like a huge modality in my life because I cleanse so often. And it's so good to do for maintenance, to clean out the colon. So many people are walking around, have hard old waste that's impacted inside of them, that's affecting their brain, it's affecting their gut microbiome. They have leaky gut, and they have waste and undigested food and chemicals and toxins and parasites.
Just absorbing right back in. What was it? Elvis had like 25 pounds of poop when he died in his colon.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's a lot of poop.
Yeah. He was very full of it, and it made him very sick because your body cannot absorb that much toxin going back into your body, basically. Because if it has nowhere to go, that is your exit, but it's going to just sit there. And then that's opportunity for parasites to come in and feed off of that toxin load.
Yeah, for parasites, for worms, for candida, for cancer, for disease, for everything you can imagine. You have to get the waste out of your body. You have to clean it just like your oil changes on the car. Like it's absolutely necessary. It really is a non-negotiable for health. So if you don't want to go and do a colonic, you know, an at-home, easy, accessible, and extremely affordable way you can do it is through enemas.
Yes.
You can do water enemas. You can do coffee enemas.
You make people feel like it's so much more acceptable to do coffee enemas, Sam.
Nice.
You like talk about it and you light up because it really, you can tell how much it helps you.
Oh my gosh, so much. Like I've been that girl in my friend group for a long time that's like been the weirdo because I'm always telling all my friends like, you need to do enemas, you need to do enemas. And they're like, God damn you with these enemas.
But
it's
you
like,
make it fun.
Honestly, it's
fun.
because of the instant benefits that you experience when you do them. So it's like water enemas too. It's like, doesn't even have to be coffee. Like coffee sounds pretty intimidating for a lot of people. So I like to start at water enemas. It's just super simple. There's like a tip that I find to be extremely valuable.
It was so valuable. It was so valuable.
Yes, I tell everyone this because a lot of people don't know to do this and they skip it, and it causes you a lot of unnecessary suffering and pain. So when you fill your enema bag with the water, before actually getting it to go into you through the tube, you take the tube with the enema bag full of water and you walk over to a drain like a shower or toilet, something that's like lower because you want to use gravity. So you're keeping it like this. And you release the clamp so you allow water to flow through the tube until it's flowing out of the end. And then you clamp it up real quick because you don't want to get rid of all the water. But you have to do that to get the air out of the tube.
You're priming it.
Yes, you're getting the air out of the tube. This is so important because people skip that and they just go straight to putting it in and letting the water come out, but then they fill their intestines up with air.
Yes.
And you can be in pain for like 24 hours after, and it's really unnecessary. So doing that before a water or a coffee enema is a huge tip I love to share with everyone.
It's a game changer because I would do it and I felt gassy after, obviously, because I was shooting air up my butt.
Exactly.
At first.
Exactly.
You know, and then bam,
Yes.
you fix it and you actually will enjoy it.
Yes.
Which is what the whole purpose of these things is to be enjoyed.
Yes. It does provide you instant relief. You feel clearer-headed, lighter in your body.
Yes.
Immediately.
Immediately.
And then if you're traveling, like that's a huge tip. Like I love like bring your enema bag with you because after you get on a plane, that altitude change, the elevation change, traveling in any capacity, it absolutely can back you up, block you up, and make you constipated. And no one likes to be on vacation or traveling in another city or state and not go to the bathroom. So you can bring an enema bag and literally just do 1-2 fills, and you will go immediately. It
just like goes in and cleans you out.
It cleans you out. It never fails. It always works. And this is the kind of stuff we love to talk about because it removes like the taboo and like the weirdness around it. And it's like, it's normal. It's human. And to be able to use these tools is so, so, so important. So that's why I love talking about them.
It sets you up for success.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing intense cleanses. And we're asked all the time at RogersHood, can you do them during? And it's like, yes.
You should.
Whatever you can do before to prep your body, during to prep your body,
and after to maintain.
How many times a week do you think you do a coffee enema?
No, I currently in my life, maybe once every couple months.
Okay.
I'm not doing them a lot right now. I don't need to. I listen to my body on when to do coffee enemas specifically. I do water enemas more than coffee enemas.
Okay.
But coffee enemas are so brilliant to me. I want to tap into them for a second because it's an ancient practice. They were doing them in ancient Egypt. When you put a specific kind of coffee. I want to be really clear about that. A lot of people are just going and getting organic drinking.
You have to be so careful because of mold.
No, they're getting organic drinking coffee or just regular drinking coffee. They're brewing it and they're putting it up their butts, and that is not what you want. You want enema coffee. It's coffee that's specifically grown and processed for enemas. When that specific coffee enters the colon, it travels through the blood. It's why during a coffee enema, you want to be on a certain side of your body and you want to hold it in for as long as you can, like ideally 12 to 15 minutes. Dang. Yeah, because when you hold it in that long, the coffee travels through the compounds in the coffee, travel through blood vessels to your liver and gallbladder. And when they get there, they stimulate the liver and gallbladder to instantly dump all of the bile that's in them into your colon, and then you pass it out through your colon. So I've actually like felt it and heard it happen before. It's so wild. It's like you like feel them like dump, and then you just like gave yourself, your body, the most like amazing cleanse because the liver processes everything.
Yes,
pharmaceuticals, chemicals,
so
toxins.
Important to have your liver clear.
Yes, you got to do that. And then again, like you mentioned, doing enemas while cleansing.
Yeah.
When I was doing the parasite cleanse, when I was doing the ParaFy cleanse, RogersHood ParaFy cleanse.
RogersHood ParaFy.
I sometimes during the cleanse, I actually would see more things after a coffee enema or enema than without. So I wondered if those things would have left my body if I didn't do the enema. And that's why I don't say like, yeah, you can do it while you're cleansing. You should.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's a requirement because some people get backed up while they're doing cleanses, especially with ParaFy. It can back you up. That is their defense mechanism to not die and get out. So it's really important to make sure you're going to the bathroom. And if you need a little assistance, that's what you do. You can do that with castor oil and red light and then add the coffee enema at the end of that. You could do a whole series to be able to remove the toxins out of your colon.
So castor oil all over your abdomen?
Yeah.
And over the liver.
Yes. Yeah. And then you go and you stimulate it with the coffee enema. And man, you won't have die-offs then, because the whole purpose of it is to get rid of the toxins out of your body, because they're leaving toxins on the way out. Spores. So you're just flushing all of that out.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what else flushes toxins out of the body?
What?
NAD.
Yes. We're like NAD loving life. It is one of the best modalities I've done for my Lyme, my mold. It's like an anti-aging, and it just helps make me feel better.
I believe it's a coenzyme.
Yes.
And let's break it down for a second. What is it, and how do you do an NAD? How do you do an NAD session? What is it?
It boosts your ATP, and so you're going in and you're having just an IV.
It's an
is
IV.
an option, but you can do it subcutaneous, which is an injection. You can do a nasal. You can take it in a pill form, but the best way to do it, especially for your checkbook, is an IV.
Yeah, and that's how we like to do it. That's how I've preferred to do it.
Is IV.
I've done it a couple of times now. Actually, currently, right now, it's helped me in real time. Literally just yesterday, we did these IVs.
Yeah.
And I got NAD added to mine. I caught some kind of virus about a month ago. It lingered for over 3 weeks. I felt better for a couple days, and then it seemed to kind of rev back up. And the second go around was even like stronger than the first. And I was, doing all the things I could do to like get over it, fight it as quick as I could. But honestly, IV therapy
is just great.
It's been one of the most effective tools that I have at my disposal, that I have access to. I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Because it didn't used to be. I mean, you talk about IV therapy being one of the first ones you did, but back then the only reason you had access to it is because you
worked in the field.
In the medical field.
Yeah, and we would experiment on each other and just see what we could do to hydrate ourselves.
Right.
But it really is bioavailable instantly, where you don't have to take the supplements. People look at the price tag and they think, oh my gosh, this is so crazy, but I don't take as many supplements anymore. I don't have to take them daily.
So you save money by not buying the oral supplements.
And you don't have to go anywhere. So you can have it at home, and then you don't have to spend so much money on supplements, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I don't have time to be taking all of these pills anymore.
Plus just pill fatigue, honestly.
Yeah, pill fatigue is a real thing.
It's real.
Yeah. So
no, I love the IVs. They've been a game changer. Good. They've been a game changer for me.
It's instant game changer.
Game changer. They really have.
Well, we've done a lot of modalities together.
Yeah. Also, the other thing about IVs that I love, you can receive high doses of certain vitamins and nutrients and supplements and minerals that otherwise you can't orally ingest that high of a dose, right? Because
your body
has
won't
to
process
be digested through your digestive system. But when you can bypass that and go straight into the blood, you can receive higher doses. I've noticed an improvement in my skin because of it, because I'm able to receive high doses of vitamin C and glutathione and magnesium and all of these things that are supportive to my liver, my skin, my menstrual cycle. Like everything's improved since getting regular IV therapies. And at this point, I'm probably getting at the minimum 2 a month, at the minimum.
That's a good amount. You can do a couple times a week if you're not feeling well, and then you can break and do them a couple times a month. But anything is going to be better than not doing anything at all. Your skin has improved.
Thanks, man.
So much. You can tell right after you get an IV.
Yeah, definitely. Want to circle back to cryotherapy.
Yes.
So cryotherapy is one of the first, actually it's probably the first modality we ever did together.
Yes.
Back in March. But I found it a couple of years ago because I woke up one morning, I was sleeping on an air mattress. Like I had just moved into a new place. I didn't have my mattress yet. And I woke up and my neck was so kinked, and it was like my entire neck, shoulders, and back just on fire for days, like acute inflammation. And it was so painful. And I was about to fly to Mexico in a few days, and I was in debilitating pain, couldn't even get out of bed. And I went to a chiropractor and they did an x-ray, and they said I had like 6 herniated discs. Yeah, and I was like, I didn't get in a car accident. I just slept on an air mattress. But he said it was accumulated micro trauma over 10 years because I'm a music engineer and producer and singer songwriter. So I'm like in
In that type of hunched
a
position.
crappy, non-supportive chair
Yeah.
all night long, hunched over, like pulling all-nighters for 10 years, working on vocals in my headphones like that. And it just like accumulated over time. And I didn't even know that was a thing until I had that happen. And the only thing that worked, I tried everything. And the only thing that worked was cryotherapy. I went once a day for 4 days, all the way until I got on the plane to go to Mexico. And every time I would go in, it would cut my pain and inflammation in half every session. So by the time I got on a plane, I didn't have any pain, and it felt like it never even happened.
Mhm.
That's how effective cryotherapy was. And you're talking about 3 minutes
That's
a
it.
day.
3 minutes a day. That's all you have to do. Just go in for 3 minutes a day. And if you're in a lot of pain, you can actually do it twice a day.
I didn't know
And
that.
it'll reset you back into not fight or flight.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it's doing, is it's actually like going into protective mode, and it starts to reset your organs and the inflammation. And yeah, you can do it twice a day.
It does more than just help with physical pain.
Yeah.
It releases feel-good chemicals,
Endorphins.
endorphins.
Mm-hmm.
It actually, if I'm correct, it improves melatonin production. There's some connection between it and sleep. And every time I do it, I do notice that I sleep better that night.
Mm-hmm.
It also, doing something hard, here we are back again talking about doing something hard and improving your mental,
Yep.
your mental strength and clarity and all of that. I mean,
The brain fog starts to calm down. You have a better understanding of what you need to do. And when you add this into, if you use it as a preventative and you add it into your life, the pain level will go down significantly, which helps with mental health.
I love that point of you can use so many of the modalities that we've discussed today as preventative.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait until you're in pain,
Yes.
you're sick, you have an illness, something's wrong, and then you're using them to try to get well.
Mm-hmm.
You use them as preventative measures and as ways to maintain a health baseline
Mm-hmm.
of feeling good. So it's not about doing them only when there's an emergency happening.
Right. You should enter these into your life every single day. At least do a few, not saying, oh, you're going to wake up and do this every day. Well, you should do something every day to kind of help assist this body. We're so sedentary all day. We sit, we don't eat the best. And so when you can bring something like this in to help you, then you're going to feel better, especially when you're doing things that help with the inflammation, because that really is one of our biggest issues.
Mm-hmm.
And things live in that inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make sure that you're keeping it the best you can down versus continuing to oh, well, I'm going to eat crappy and what am I going to do? I'm going to just be inflamed all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to eat crappy, go do some sauna to sweat it out.
Yeah. Or do an enema or a colonic
Yeah.
to flush it out.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we've been to LA a few times to hang out and do different modalities. And one of the places we went was the Valley Salt Cave in Woodland Hills. And it's an active salt cave, which was cool. Active meaning it's literally still growing salt where they built it. And they have a large one with salt on the ground. I think they said it was like 3 inches of salt, and you get to sit in it. It's a whole experience. We were just chilling on really comfortable, like lounge chairs. And then we had someone come in and they did sound bath on us. And salt is very therapeutic. It's halotherapy, and breathing it in helps break up mucus, which is inflammation, and just really assists with people that have mold and Lyme and parasites that are in your lungs. And they just really, it just allows you to kind of be completely engulfed in an experience. It was amazing. I had a really great time. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, what I loved about it, like you said, it was an active salt cave, which in other words, it was alive,
Yeah.
which really trips me out. Salt was being added to the room through the vents. So it was in the air, and then the salt was building upon itself like inside. So it had salt gravel. The walls were made of Himalayan salt bricks.
Yeah, it was
And there was
cool.
salt like hanging off the ceiling. And I remember afterward, like we tasted the salt
Yeah.
from it being in the air.
Going on your skin,
Yeah, I mean,
and you're
salt is-
breathing it in.
Right. Salt is super purifying.
Yes.
And it's cleansing. So another way I love to use salt in detoxing is I love to go to a spa that has a Himalayan salt room that's really hot.
Oh, yes.
And go in there and I lean against the wall. I dig my feet into the salt, the Himalayan salt gravel, and I'm just like engulfed in the salt room, but it's so hot. The wall, the bricks, the Himalayan salt bricks are hot and you're pouring sweat, and it's like, talk about detoxing.
Yeah.
And then simultaneously, like you said, breathing in this purifying
and absorbing it
compound.
from the sweat being leaving your body and then absorbing it back
That's
in.
right.
They have a lot of saunas that shoot. That's where the halotherapy comes in. It shoots it while you're engulfed in the heat.
Hot. Okay,
Yeah,
so this
it's
is something we need to find and go do together.
It's literally called halotherapy. That's
Amazing.
the company.
Mhm.
They have multiple different types of saunas you can sit in that shoot out the salt. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Different lights that go with it. So it's a modality that I don't think a lot of people realize is really important. People put salt in their water every day to get the magnesium, but
the
this-
minerals, the trace
yeah, the
minerals. You can
minerals.
drink it. Also, I mean, a really great DIY is salt baths, like
Yeah.
Epsom salt bath. I just used one the other night. I was super hot. I was sick. We flew into Miami and I needed to detox and get everything out of me and actually sweat out. And we used, salt in my bath, like a lot of Epsom salt and CBD salt, like bath salts. You want to be careful with like fragrances though.
Yeah, you do. And if you're
You
going
don't
to
want
use them, they
fragrance.
have to be
Essential
oil.
oils only.
Like a guaranteed essential oil, not
Yeah.
a fragrance
No.
essential oil.
Yeah.
Because you're literally absorbing it.
Yes, that's
you're
right.
absorbing it. So you have to be very careful.
That's right. Yeah.
What you're putting on your skin as well.
But super cleansing, purifying to use during a cleanse,
Yes.
a parasite cleanse, as well as fulvic minerals.
Yes, fulvic. We have a fulvic soak,
Mm-hmm.
and it will detox you. That's for sure. I had worms swim out of the bottom of my feet. What are you gonna do? Like, they wanted to come out apparently because they're making, it's making your body inhospitable.
They were alive?
Yeah.
You saw live worms
I
swim
have
out of your
video of them swimming out of my feet multiple times. Me and Jeremy. And it was just a foot soak. I have yet to do a fulvic soak,
feet? Full body?
full body.
Well,
I've
we
yet
got
to
it.
do it.
You're the creator of the fulvic soak. We definitely have to make that happen. No, I mean, my mom has done them. My best friends. I have so many friends
Yeah.
who have done the fulvic soak, full body, and they get out. They let the water settle for 30 minutes before draining it. Everything floats to the top. Then they
So
get
cool.
the light, the flash on their phone, and they film the surface of the water. And you do see critters. You see.
Heavy metals,
Mhm.
critters. I don't think people really realize how important it is to do types of baths like that because they don't know how it all absorbs it back into your bloodstream.
Mhm.
This is your biggest organ.
Something as simple as a bath
Yeah.
is a healing modality.
Yes, as simple as a bath.
Healing modality sounds like it's so like there has to be this whole thing, but I mean it's really just these like a lot of
Simple.
these simple ancient
Yes.
practices,
Yep.
holistic practices, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure though that you're filtering your water or you're just absorbing everything that's in that water back into your body.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you're using the modalities to the best of your ability, or you could be doing harm if you're just absorbing heavy metals back into your body while trying to not.
Now, question, do you think adding something like bentonite clay to the bath, if you can't afford to get a water filter, but you still want to take baths, like can you add something to the water? Like what about DE? I don't know how to say it.
Diatomaceous earth?
Is there something you can add to the water to help?
No.
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 You need to filter the water.
You have to filter the water.
Got it.
There is nothing in there that will remove it the way that it will with a 5-micron filter or smaller.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I will say though that, I mean, I've never filtered my bath water.
Okay.
I don't have a filter for my water, but I, over the years, absolutely have still experienced
yes.
many benefits
Yes.
from
you
it.
still want to do it.
If you can't filter your bath
Yes.
water, it's okay because
Yeah.
you really can still receive so many benefits, but like you're just like leveling people, helping people
Yes,
realize
you gotta
there's more
level up.
levels to go. Once you get something down, you can learn more to even make it more effective.
And they have the ones that you can hang on your bathtub that at least it adds some extra nutrients into your bath.
Nice.
And then ozone water. I mean, you literally can do ozone water in your bath as well.
Can you fill your bathtub up with water? Say you don't have a filter.
And throw the
Can you
ozone
add the
machine in?
ozone thing in there? And then
Yes.
will that at least
Yeah, it'll get rid of some of the bacteria and potential
parasites?
because it's literally sterilizing the
So
water.
the bare minimum, if you have an ozone machine,
Yeah,
at
which
least
they're
do
not that expensive.
It's called a Therasage?
It's the company's Therasage, and the ozone machine is called a bubbler.
Yeah.
And it's under their oxygen section on their website.
Which we love this machine.
Yeah,
we
we
use
love
it. We
it.
clean our vegetables and
Yes.
fruits in it. We soak that. I've also
You use it in
ozonated water, and I
Yep.
use it in a navage. A navage is a neti pot, but it's electronic.
Yeah.
And so it has like 2 nostril things that go in, and you hold down the button. I add ozone water to my navage with drops of Sustain from
Yep.
RogersHood, a tincture from RogersHood,
You can do
ParaFy. I do
in
that,
it.
or Moldies.
Yep, moldies. It's
And,
like 3 to 5 drops.
Yeah,
because
no
they're
more
just
than 5.
it's
yeah.
herbs, and it'll dissipate in that water.
Yeah. And
so
saline.
yes,
And then you put it in, and it pushes water into one nostril and out the other, and then you switch it, refill it full of the same stuff, and do it on the other side. And I use that. I use my Navage. I mean, that's a healing modality that's in like almost my everyday life. I love it.
it's a good one.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
it's great.
I don't navage as much. Jeremy navages
Yeah.
all the time because he really got hit hard with mold in his respiratory system.
People who are more sinusy.
Yeah, he's
I'm a
very sinusy
I'm a
person.
sinusy person.
Yeah,
too.
I'm not as sinusy. So
Okay, got it.
I haven't used it the same way.
Yeah.
You can also use ozone water in enemas.
I have before, and funny enough, it made me nauseous afterward.
Really?
But not saying that that's a negative thing.
But
I
it
just
can do that.
noticed. I noticed,
Yeah.
and I looked it up online, and I
Yeah.
learned it could.
I use it in my water pick because I have lime in my mouth, and it has created a lot of issues with my teeth because it's not really my teeth, it's the gums, and that's where the underlying bacteria is that actually can have you lose your teeth.
Yeah.
And so when I start to have a flare, I'll go in with my ozone and I'll just use the water pick along all of my gums. And then I use it when I have a tooth that constantly is flaring up. So I use it there.
Amazing.
And you can make a big container of it and put it in your fridge for up to 72 hours as long as it's in an amber bottle and you refrigerate it.
Awesome.
And so you can do a bunch of the water.
Okay.
And then you have it for extra use later.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, are there any healing modalities you have not done yet that you're excited to do and that you're going to do?
Yes.
Okay, what?
So I am planning on doing therapeutic plasma exchange. It's called TPE or Plex, depending on who you speak with. Basically, what they're going to do is I'll be hooked up to an IV and we'll be filming it as well. And they'll pull blood out. They'll clean my plasma, spinning it down, and then re-entering it back into my body with clean plasma.
That's amazing.
And it'll remove 70% of whatever is causing the inflammation in my body. And I have autoimmune encephalitis that's caused from pandas that I was just recently diagnosed with that I didn't know that I had, and it makes a lot of sense. And so it actually is a huge helper when you have that. So encephalitis means my brain swells.
Wow.
And it causes me to have sometimes some paranoia, some anxiety. Basically, it just really affects my mental health. I have headaches often, and it causes me to have some visual issues and some hearing problems. And so now that we know what to do, I can go in and I can do this. I'm going to do 4. So I'll sit 4 different times. It can take 2 to 4 hours, but it's pretty cool because technology is really showing us what we can do to really help our bodies.
I love
And
that.
it'll clean out 70% of my Lyme and mold that's in my body.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's massive.
It is
I'm
really
so
big.
happy for you. I'm excited that I get to be there with you.
I'm
We're
excited.
gonna film it.
We're gonna film it.
Yeah, we'll make sure that you guys can tap in and watch and
Yeah.
experience it with us. And So something that we like to do here, because we are plant people, is we like to honor the plants.
Yes.
So at the end of each episode, we like to share what is an herb that is calling to you right now, that you're the most drawn to, the most intrigued by, interested by, or that you're using the most right now.
Well, cat's claw is desperately calling to me. And it's because it helps repair DNA. And I'm really in a repair type of mode right now. I'm healing, but I'm also working on how to repair everything. And so when you can get an herb to assist you with that specific meaning to repair the damage that was done by all of the environmental toxins that have really eaten my body. And that's why we're called What's Eating You.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
One of the reasons, one of the many reasons.
Yeah, these environmental toxins have eaten me, and I'm trying to repair my DNA in order for me to live a healthier life and to be out there doing what we're doing right now, teaching people this. And I feel like cat's claw is going to be that particular herb to assist me and honestly other people, because it's going to be in one of our lymph kits that's coming out. So it's really important for people to have the right herbs for the right reasons. What's yours, Sam?
That's beautiful. Well, right now, one that I've been using nightly since we arrived here, that's been helping me sleep at night, because when I was really sick and going through the plane ride and I had some pharmaceuticals in my system and stuff that were stimulating my system, I wasn't able to sleep for a few nights and I was super sleep deprived. So I started using valerian root.
Oh.
And I've been using it in a tea every night before bed. And I remember when I pulled it out and put it into the cup and I poured the water on it, I looked at you and Jeremy and said, I forgot how stinky valerian is, because it's pungent. It's got some stank on it for sure. Valerian is like a little bit offensive, but it's because it's so powerful. It really works. It's been calming me down. I'm so grateful for it. I'm grateful to have access to it, be able to use it. It's been helping me sleep. So that's my current herb that I'm grateful to have access to it, grateful to use it, and it really works. So valerian root.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
But this has been awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here and helping everyone get a better understanding, especially about enemas. It's a scary topic. So I'm really grateful that you're open and sharing that with other people.
I am too, because it's a funny one to be so open about. But if it helps people, then it's my honor and my pleasure. But this is so great, Kim. I'm so happy to come together with you and have these type of conversations to really help remove taboo or fear or ignorance around any of these modalities that are right now more accessible to everyone than ever before and more affordable than ever before. And we just like to inform people and empower people so that you guys can also use these in your own individual healing journeys. Yeah. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, Sam.
Talking about what's eating you. Ooh. Talking about what's eating